Good morning. We have now come to the stage where we have to apply whatever we have learnt as regards the knowledge of the self. Now, for just for reference sake, the videos starting from 1 to 6 are in Tamil, while the videos starting from 386 to 400 are in English. Now they individually cover the total almost the total aspect of knowledge of the self. Please remember that none of what has been said here does not belong to me at all. All these have been distilled from the masters and various books. So none belong to me. So they had been given in a concise form so that the seeker or the person who wants to know the truth is guided properly as to what the earlier masters have said. You see, instead of going through the entire field and uh, go on searching for this and that from here and from there, in the process one gets a sort of fatigue. He gets the fatigue. He becomes tired and he gets confused also as to what is the correct way. So to reduce their ordeal, I have given to the best extent possible the possible ways of attaining the knowledge of the self. The attainment is, of course, is far away and it is not in our hands. This should be very clearly understood. But the knowledge of the self can be understood intellectually and it can be made to get imbibed in within our being. The knowledge, if it is imbibed within us, the knowledge, if it becomes part of us, then it becomes a part of our inarticulate memory. Like, you see, we drive a vehicle, we learn how to drive, that's the initial period of learning, and after some time, the vehicle is driven by itself. In the sense, we do not concentrate on the minor aspects of driving at all. The, it happens, the driving happens, and you continue to remember or think about lots of other things other than driving. This is what happens. So this is the inarticulate memory, where the memory, what you have learnt, is embedded within the body, and that guides. Now this is a case with almost all, where it becomes a sort of routine. A thing, an action does again and again. It becomes a sort of routine, and it becomes a sort of habit. It becomes a habit. So you really do not need to apply your mind to carry out that particular action, but the body takes care, or whoever takes care. Let's see, let it put it like that. Whoever takes care, it is done. It is done automatically. So that memory is very important. Inarticulate memory is very important. Same way, now the knowledge which we have gained, the self-knowledge, knowledge of the self by academic teaching or by intellectual understanding, can be made part of our inarticulate memory, so that here there is some consciousness is required to effectively put it through the practice in our day-to-day life. And so if it is done that way, then whatever we do and whatever we speak is part of that inarticulate memory of self-knowledge. Where the self-knowledge, by by content and by definition, it is nothing but the doing away with the psychological mind, the destruction of psychological mind. That is the point, that nothing has to be done in respect of psychological mind, and it is not to be brought to the fore, brought to the front at all. It is not to be done at all. It is not to be touched at all. That is the that will of course be the basic foundation for a knowledge of the self. So that is what we do. If we do that, then our actions and speech become part of our consciousness, part of our knowledge of the self. This let us understand. Thank you very much.